butterflies with the logo on it. So we'll see how that goes. Ugh. Hey, there we go.
We on? Oh, we're on.
It's only been 2 weeks. Felt like
Did we even do this thing?
Yeah, felt like about 5 weeks. We haven't taken a week off the show in the longest time that wasn't like Christmas. Seriously.
Yeah, it's been a long
A
time.
long time since we've missed a week. Anyway, I'm back, baby. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 229, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Wednesday night, or in podcast form over on Anchor.fm, or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment. Tonight, there will definitely be some Star Trek.
Oh, you know it.
If you hadn't guessed already. We read all super chats on the air, so long as they will not permanently demonetize my channel. We do drink alcohol on the show, and if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. Last but not least, if you want to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to the Discord server, where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there. Welcome to the show.
Woo-wee. Yeah.
Apparently, John, your lav mic is hitting your zipper, and it's popping a lot. I'm not hearing it on my side, but they're saying it's coming through.
I thought it was, and I got my boom mic. All right, hang on.
Some people are already saying better, so I don't know. Maybe my mic was popping, maybe your mic was popping, something was popping.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. You're good.
Okay. So whatever was going on.
Yeah. All right, we're popping now. Here we go.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I must have messed up that intro then. Jeez. It was a poppin' intro.
Right, things are popping over here. Oh, how you been, John?
I'm slowly melting away, Jeff.
Yes. Yes. There's less and less of you every day.
Literally.
Strangely enough, you're not the same person I used to know, but at the same time,
you're like, yeah, that sounds like what you do.
That's exactly what John would do.
He looks a little different. No, that still sounds like John. Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's really funny. People have been worried about you, and they're like, Jeff, have you heard from John? Have you checked in with him? Like, he's a big boy, and his wife has more authority over him than I could ever imagine. So
yeah,
like,
I'm fine. I've been. I know I haven't been as.
His wife yells at me. Like,
yeah. I haven't been as active on the Discourse because it's so many like social media stuff are like constantly asking me questions. It's like and I gotta go to work, and then I'm still trying to spend time with the family. It's like it's I'm about every 3 hours I have like 40 comments, and I try to respond to all of them. And all of them are all the same, either like cheers or
just you wait.
Oh yeah, you're gonna die.
Right.
I was like, what? Okay, no, he's faking it. He's gonna die. Your liver's gonna fail out. I was like,
yeah,
okay. I got today accused of eating because in the background, I made my wife barbecue chicken yesterday for dinner, and there was Sweet Baby Ray's in the background. And it was like the tiniest like little pixel. And they're like, see, that's proof you eat food because there's barbecue sauce in the background.
Yeah, but Zuckerberg's a robot and he keeps Sweet Baby Ray's on his bookshelf. Like,
yeah. I was like, what? Who cares? Like, I keep telling you, I still cook dinner.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I enjoy cooking dinner.
My family isn't all beer. That'd be really weird with your toddler.
There was a couple other people saying I live in my parents' basement and I'm unemployed. And it's like, okay, whatever.
John, there are some stereotypes. He's probably a programmer and
probably just some nerd who sits on a computer and plays video games all that. Yeah, I wish. Jeez.
Yeah, right. All right. First off, Kren gets us started with a $5 Aussie donation from down under. So I heard the quickest way to start the show is with super chats. Also, good day. Good day, Kren. How you been, mate? That's Brett's not here, so I've got to try the accent.
Yeah.
Hope that was passable.
The only one
Hope that was passable. Anyway, let's get on to the most important part of every well-balanced diet. John, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, today for dinner, I'm going to be having Polliner's Hefeweizen. So a nice German Hefeweizen.
I am opening quite a special beer, and whoever sent this to me, you're gonna have to forgive me. I completely forgot to keep the note. Came with it. But I mentioned, I think 2 years ago, maybe even 3. Like I've had this beer for a while. That I had originally registered Craft Computing as a name on my first internet thing on March 22nd of 2017. Now I didn't post a video until July, but I had the idea in my head for a long time. And what did I want to do, and how do I want to structure it? And let's go out and is Craft Computing white space? Yes, it pretty much is. There's a couple like blog posts that were Craft Computing, but they were dead for like 7 years or so. Screw it, I'm claiming. So registered the domain, got the YouTube channel set up, and then, like I said, didn't do anything with it. One of my viewers, a number of years ago, and it at least 2, like I said, possibly 3 years ago, reached out and said he had heard that I started my channel March 22nd, 2017. Well, he happened to be at a local bottle shop, and for some reason that date just kind of resonated with him, and he found a Great Divide Barrel Age Series, the Yeti Imperial Stout, aged in whiskey barrels. It clocks in at a whole heck of a lot, if I remember right. 12.5.
Yeah.
Bottled March 22nd, 2017. So this beer is exactly as old as my YouTube channel. And as it turns out, last week I was supposed to open it because last week was the first show after the 5th anniversary of my YouTube channel, or of the naming of my channel. I'm going to drink this tonight.
There you go. And you're going to have a real good time.
Yes. I have a lighter beer here that I'm going to get to later. But
well, I already had a big beer for lunch. I had a 16.5% beer for lunch. So I'm good.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's fun.
How much did you overshoot the Balmer Peak by? I want to.
Oh, it was draft, so it's only 8%.
Okay.
Or 8 ounces.
Okay, gotcha.
So
there we go. I mean, 5 years on, it's still got a head on it.
Yeah, look at that. 12% too, so that's nice. I am curious about the whiskey. I'm still like 50-50 on whiskey barrel ages.
Oh, there's whiskey there. There's this almost smells like a barley wine.
Really? That'd be nice.
I mean, it almost does. Okay. This one might have gone a little too long. It's good. It's good. Definitely not great, but it's also straight out of the fridge, so it'll warm up and turn into something very pleasant. It's a little thin, and so it makes me think it's been aged a little bit too long. The whiskey is very present.
Now, I've noticed that whiskey can give a slight sour note. Are you getting that?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've got.
And I think that's basically being it's aged too long.
Yep. Yeah, something within the batch turned at some point. I can definitely start picking out. There's a good roast at the end of it. But yeah, that sour, that mash taste is taking up the majority of the center of the flavor. And like I said, it's very thin up front. I know this beer should not be thin.
Yes, no, it should be like around the medium body too. I don't remember it being ultra thick because I've had the barrel aged Yeti before.
Yeah, so have I.
But not that year. And so yeah. Well, it might get better.
Yeah.
When it warms up. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm reserving judgment for now. Definitely not as good as I was hoping for first sip. But see how it goes.
Ooh, we have a super chat, but I do not know what that currency
is. That is 2,000 yen.
Okay.
From Mr. Elmist. Elmo. Thank you. Thanks for watching. All right. So, did you see any decent beers in the... Oh, we got a Highland Park 12 from Jonathan. I'm just scrolling up real quick. William McDowell's drinking an Elijah Craig on the rocks.
Biggie John's got a Dragon's Milk.
Peace. Rogue Newport Days from Budney.
Nice.
Hazy IPA. Nice light-bodied hazy. Let's see. Novella's got an Equilibrium Mass times Acceleration double IPA. 8%. Like that name. See, Rev is about to crack into a Headlands Brewing Company Bandit Trail Hazy 7.3. And see if I can find one. Cameron's drinking a Dr. Pepper and about to switch to some Tito's vodka. Go.
That's fine.
Wrong with either of those.
Nope.
Elma says, hey, hope to see you guys in the after party. Have to go fix the dumbest server combination ever. Win 2008, vCenter 4.0, backup all in one. Oh, good God.
Wait, why is this server 08? Oh my God.
I know why it's server 08. I'm going to leave it at that. Windows 2008, vCenter 4.0, and backup server all in one metal box. Please pray for me, and please pray for me how to have to fix two of them. Oh man.
Ooh.
Good luck, good sir. Tech Geek sends over $50. Thank you very much, Tech Geek. Managed to score an MSI Gaming X Trio 3080 Ti for $1,500 the other day. Quite the upgrade from an RX 470, I would say so. Within 2 days, I saw an Amazon listing go back up to almost $1,900. Haha, 3D Mark, go burr. I posted in our buy sell page on the Discord, which you get access to on the Patreon for $1 a month, or more if you choose to donate more. Minimum $1. I posted the worst of this seems to be kind of fading, because I found today, and I've seen this card like 3 times in the last 3 or 4 days, be available for $849 on Amazon, and that is a Zotac 3070 Ti Trinity. 12 gigabyte or 8 gigabyte. That's right, 8 gigabyte GDDR6. $849 available next day, fulfilled by Amazon.
Jeez.
$849. Like, based on the original retail pricing, where the 3080 was supposed to be $1,000, the 3070 was supposed to be $600. 3070 Ti for $850, sounding that terrible.
No.
I mean, it's as close as I've seen in over a year.
Retail.
Over a year. Yeah. So hopefully. Novella Hub says prayers for Elmo. Yes. I have lived that life. All right. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Considering I didn't open any of the tabs in advance, I'm going to have to do that here. Nor do I have the chat up in my normal stream. Up real quick.
Yeah, no, I'm working on one monitor today.
I've got my 2 monitors, but I sat down late to get prepped for the stream, so a couple of things aren't set up yet.
Yeah, no, I gave my spare wire to my wife, and then I couldn't find my other, and then my other ones are at work, and I forgot to bring one home.
Do you need a little portable for out in your studio? Because I have like 5 portable monitors that people just send me.
If you got, I'll take a little portable one. I'll trade you a beer for it.
Yeah, no, it's really funny because there's some things that as a technology related YouTuber, not even computer, not even camera, just any tech YouTuber, out of the woodwork, you will get people sending you mice, you will get people sending you portable screens, and what's really funny is they're all the same portable screen from the same manufacturer. They're just branded like 10 different ways.
Yeah.
And so I've opened like 3 boxes in a row from 3 different companies, and they've all been the exact same panel. Exact same housing, same machining, same menu.
Just a different logo.
Just a different logo stamped on the back. And so, yeah, I have like 3 extra portable screens. Like I'm using one on my desk here, and it's the only one that I use. And it's only for the show.
I'd take one.
Yeah, I'll get it to you next time I see you. Now, I will say it better be a good beer because these are like $200 panels. But
it ain't gonna be no $200 beer. That's a good beer.
It's a good beer. I mean, I'm not expecting a Adam's Utopia, but it better not be an all-day IPA. Like, you get my drift.
It's like a barrel-aged pickle beer. It's fine. It's rare.
Well, that price just went down in a hurry.
It's a rare beer. Come on.
John, rare doesn't mean good. All right. Let's get into it right after Denver and his $5 super chat. Thank you. Dang, if I hadn't been distracted with my F1.4 webcam, you'd have been online. If I hadn't distracted you with my F1.4. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I made a comment while I was trying to get set up on. I also responded to a tweet like 6 minutes late. So, yeah, Denver, I didn't realize that was you hitting me in the comments. I probably should have. I just didn't read the name on it. He goes, yeah, I've got a webcam. I use my Sony a7 III and a 85mm f1.4 Prime. That's a webcam. Almost as much as this is a webcam.
Yeah.
All right, enough distractions. Let's get into the news.
The news.
Starting with hackers have apparently stolen more than $600 million of something from someone. It's blockchain. I have to poke. Stolen $600 million in cryptocurrency and NFTs from Axie Infinity. They've emerged as one of the most popular online gaming establishments. And when they say gaming, they mean Facebook games / online slots / a lot of different aspects.
Those free games you can download. That this particular one is just the best one on the blockchain.
Over 140 million users worldwide.
Yeah, I like it how
familiar?
if you read the article, it sits there and states like most users spend $1,000 to set up their account to start. It's like, oh yeah, it's a total scam. It's like I don't remember any game taking $1,000 to start. Yeah, but essentially this group, which they still have,
you backed Star Citizen, didn't
you? Yeah. This group still hasn't stated who they are, or no one's taken claim to it. And they haven't announced it. But essentially what it sounds like, they got 600 million because they took over the server for a little bit. 625 million, sorry.
Yeah. And they stole they stole Ethereum, I think.
Yeah, it was Ethereum. So they got like direct access to the server. And it was 773 ethers, whatever. So $625 million. They were able to extract 25 million before being stopped. So, but yeah. And a lot of this was from users too.
Yeah.
Not just the company. And so when users get, I don't play the game, so I don't know. So if you do, let me know in the chat comments below. I don't know, but my assumption is we're gaining points and experience points, and that you can translate into Ethereum or something along that line. I'm assuming, and so therefore some of that got stolen from you.
Yeah.
So doesn't really sound like the company got stolen from, more like the users got stolen from.
Right.
Which is still bad because the company itself has a security policy, and then they're at the end, they're still responsible.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Those wondering what I'm rocking days as my webcam, I did show kind of a picture.
Video.
Yeah, in the video that just went live. But I decided tonight to go ahead and set up my Zcam E1 with my Sigma 18 to 35 f1.8 and a speed booster. So that's what's on the camera tonight.
Just a simple little webcam. It's cool, guys.
Just a simple little,
tiny little thing. It's cool.
$700 lens hanging on.
It's a slight upgrade from a GoPro. I mean, it's really not that much.
Well, I mean, my usual lens is the Tokina 11 to 16 f2.8. So, you know. How do people even live with that?
Yeah. The clarity. Oh, it's like blurry context. I need an eye exam already.
Honestly, there's absolutely no difference, especially at 1080p, which is what this thing broadcasts in HDMI.
Yes.
So the background is slightly fuzzier.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we got
by a whole 2/3 of a stop, I'll have you know.
We got a super chat from Joey Palm. Oh wait, what is that denomination? I can't see.
Damn you all and your non-US currencies.
I don't know. Well, I thought it was just $25, but I was like, whoa.
Philippine pesos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 250 Philippine pesos.
Yep.
Hey Jeff, thanks for all the cool content. Copper tubing, Keg PC is the goated.
Thank you. That project was so much fun. It turned out so incredibly well. Right now it is kind of in a temporary home. It is, oh right, you can't quite see it. It's sitting like literally on the counter right next to my fridge. It was visible in the webcam video. I'm cleaning off my desk a little bit and adding a second workstation over here. So Rhett can have a PC and sit down. That's going to be his PC. I get to look at it, but it's going to sit on the other side of the desk for me. So that just means I need to do a custom water-cooled mod on my main PC, right? For which I bought a monoblock about 8 months ago, and I've been planning a build on that for even longer than that. I just haven't had time to get to it. So now that we have an extra computer that we can do video editing on, I can take my main one down and do the water cooling mod. I know, first world problems.
Yes, but is it cut aluminum casing on your case? You know, is it open like that one? That thing was sexy looking.
No, but trust me, this one will be plenty sexy. Oh, John, you have no idea.
Yeah, but there was a little update actually today on this Axie Infinity thing. And so it came out that they were able to raise $150 million back for the users. And they are pledging to give as much back to the users as they can. And then find out, who is at fault here. So that I think that's at least a very nice thing for the company to say, hey, our security's messed up. We're going to beef that up. We're trying to get you as much money back as possible.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's also incredibly frustrating to see from a user standpoint. But I'm not going to make this political. I'm not going to make any kind of broad statement. I think a lot of people know what I think about cryptocurrency, and I'm certainly not rah, 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 it's the future. I think blockchain and decentralization for some information databases, some transactional databases, it's very intriguing. It definitely has a use case. There's definitely something... It's definitely something as a whole that we should be... As far as cryptocurrency itself being a viable replacement to standard GDP-backed currency, I don't buy it. I don't. I also don't buy gold. That gold is what I should have if nuclear war breaks out, because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not trading
You're gonna have slivers of gold.
I'm not gonna be trading someone, fruit and vegetables for slivers of gold. Slivers of gold are worth jack all to me at that point.
Well, if the nuclear holocaust did come, there's no form of currency that would actually matter. That's the thing.
Right.
Paper, credit,
John,
all of that stuff.
That's not correct.
Oh, that's true. The bottle caps. I'm sorry. Well, I'm good there. That's right. That's. I mean,
I've been saving up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm rich. Yeah, I'm rich.
I'm rich. Woo-hoo!
Right. So again, with $600 million stolen in cryptocurrency, I'm going, was it? Like, I know everything has a value and everything, but Wada Games also values games.
It only has a value because we gave it a value.
Yeah. Now I'm going to get all the crypto bros in my thing going how wrong I am. Yeah.
Oh, I know. My nephew is a big crypto guy.
Yeah, I know a couple big crypto guys. Like I said, I'm very much in a wait and see. At this point, it feels like a giant Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It just does. So I know there's a lot of money in it, and with money comes value, but is it fake value? Is it people who pumped money into it to take money back out of it, and now all the money is back out of it, and everyone else is investing their money so the people who already made money can make more money? Because that's a Ponzi scheme. Like, who's actually making money from this?
Yeah. So actually, what's funny now that you say that, I actually didn't read in that article the 150 million. Was that cash or was that what is it called? Ethereum? Because if $625 worth of Ethereum, but they said only 25 million was out in cash. Interesting. Actually, this article does not state that. Interesting. Oh, well, like I said, this article just came out today. Whatever. Where the hack happened last week.
Yeah. Yeah. John Jay says it was $600 million on Monday and only $3.23 on Wednesday. That's amazing that they lost $127 million and no one noticed. I'd noticed if $430 million went missing out of my bank account. I mean, what are they going to do without that extra $122 million? It's just.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, all crypto really kind of comes down to they're just stocks.
Yeah.
Really all it is. It's
right.
A stock.
Right.
It's you have to trade that to get cash or whatever you want. It's just a stock. You're investing in something.
I hate to say it. It's multi-level marketing for men.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a crypto dude, you're just essentially a stockbroker type thing. Whatever. It's fine. It comes off as like I'm
my
used
own
car
boss.
salesman.
I can make money in my garage using the hardware that I already own.
Well, so yeah. Well, the thing is too is once they go and take that money out, they're taxed heavily on it, and it's like, oh, I have
it's capital gains once it's cash, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I have all this money. It's like, I don't see you spending it though. I'm worth X. Oh,
I will say,
you don't have that.
I will say, the one story that I know personally actually happened is Sarah Dietschy, YouTuber. Invested into Bitcoin, let it ride up to 45,000, sold the Bitcoin, or rather didn't even sell the Bitcoin, bought a Tesla with Bitcoin when Tesla was accepting cryptocurrency as payment.
Oh, see, that's fun.
That's the one that I know. It has gone from 10,000 to 45,000, and then cashed out, and she got something of value in return. That's the one actual story that I know.
Well, no, there was that. Well, there was the other one, and I think it wasn't like the first official Bitcoin purchase was the Domino's pizza for one whole Bitcoin.
One whole Bitcoin, right?
Was it Domino's pizza?
No, it was like 150 Bitcoins. Like it was something. A lot.
Yeah, and so it ended up being like 10 years later the most expensive pizza, and Man, I think it was Domino's.
It was Domino's.
And, yeah, and so, man, if Domino's held on to those coins, oh, that would have been funny. I wonder if they did. Someone should look that up. Send the chat, look that up. See if Domino's Pizza held on to those coins, or if anyone knows what happened.
Now I'm gonna get the MLM Huns after me.
God, I want a pizza. That sounds good.
I suddenly want a pizza. I can't imagine how much you want a pizza.
Oh man, you have no idea how much I want food.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I had pork tenderloin. Pork tenderloin with an onion and chili sauce on top of it. A little bit of rice, carrots. Solid.
Oh man,
solid.
First
Bitcoin transaction, 2010. Laszlo Hayek, or Hanyich, spent 10,000 bitcoins at a local pizza restaurant called Papa John's to buy himself 2 pizzas. Back then, the bitcoins were only worth $40. So 10,000 bitcoins were worth $40. Yeah, I knew it was a lot. Now, I know that Domino's was involved along the way as well for they accepted Bitcoin and someone spent like 200. John is saying olive juice to Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now is that is that a local Papa John's, or is that like Papa John's? Just
I'm assuming it was a local Papa John's.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder if they held on to it, man. Or if they probably would have sold it like once it hit like, 10,000 or whatever. Like, sell it. Quick, go.
Right. Cash out. Right.
Cash out, go. I mean, that's still great. Good for you, whatever. And then they're like, buy more Papa John's, which is actually would have been the smart thing to do.
Totally would have been. But yeah, if it smells like money laundering, looks like money laundering, and actual money laundering is happening, it may be money laundering.
But I put Glad on it, Jeff. It smells great now. It's like morning dew.
Right. Little Febreze will take care of all
that. Yeah. A little chloroform will knock you right out and you won't care.
Beer was from MICD 87 for the Yeti. Oh, so thank you. Yeti. Thank you. Someone tracked him down. Looks like he got pinged. Hopefully he pops into the YouTube chat. Yeah. So Mick D87. D87. Hopefully they hop on in. If you're in the chat, please ping me. Oh my.
But speaking of, there was some hacking. There was some.
Sorry, I made the mistake of scrolling through 10 forward. I don't know if you've been in there lately.
Oh.
You have a ping waiting for you.
I do. Oh yes, no, I saw it there.
Okay. Making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I asked for them to ship it to me.
Yeah. It's John Jay. You get him drunk enough, he will.
Yeah. I mean, I will. That's fine. Just drink.
I'll
take half bottle. I'll take half a bottle. It's fine. Yeah, it's a half bottle's fine too.
Right.
I got no problem with the half bottle.
I don't care if you drink the first half first and then ship me the second. Like,
yeah,
I'm cool. All right. Next up, we've got an quote unauthorized source end quote uploaded some pretty bizarre videos to millions of subscribers on YouTube through the likes of Drake, Eminem, Justin Bieber, etc., and their personal channels. So apparently some unknown hacker has taken over some YouTube accounts of particular note lately and posted some fairly weird videos. I thought there was a screenshot somewhere. Gosh.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to read this one.
Right. I know I saw a screenshot for it. It must have been in another article. Damn you, Gizmodo. Yeah, I don't I don't need to know what Justin Bieber looks like. All I know is Linus is already considering no longer wearing the beanie because Justin Bieber's out there wearing a pink beanie. From one Canadian to another. Stop it.
I was going to say that it's a Canadian thing. He's
right.
like, oh, I need to take that from him.
Right. They can have Justin's account. LOL. Yeah. So it's unclear how these were actually taken over. But the hacker uploaded a video called Justin Bieber Free Paco Sans, featuring Will Smith, Chris Rock, Skinny Flex, and Los Pelos. Which sounds like it's just trying to play the YouTube algorithm for the most clicks as humanly possible. You know, Will Smith, Chris Rock, Justin Bieber, etc.
After Oscars party, something like that.
The list of sites hit, or the list of channels hit, include Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Drake, Lil Nas X, Harry Styles, Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, and Eminem.
Wait, Michael Jackson has a YouTube page?
Yes. His estate has a YouTube.
Okay.
And his estate is still an active corporation. His estate can still post videos.
When they all use the same password as admin, yeah, that's how it gets hacked.
Yeah.
Admin 123. I bet Michael Jackson was ABC 123.
Oh god. Then he does the chorus again, but this time it's capitals. ABC.
Because he grew up and he's like, I can do capital letters now too.
We're gonna stop the jokes there, John. Because I already saw the next leap. Done there. I'm not getting demonetized. You all heard it too.
I'm not that drunk, Jeff.
In private company, I may have just been demonetized, but here on YouTube, we're keeping it above board. Keeping it uppercase only. Okay. Bit of a joke as you're gonna get.
Yep.
AMD confirms its GPU drivers are overclocking CPUs without users' authorization.
That's right. This one was kind of fun.
Yes. So apparently a recent update to Radeon Adrenalin is overclocking CPUs in fairly unorthodox ways. It's basically increasing the bus speed between the CPU and the GPU, and which does result in a higher frequency for the CPU and is a form of overclocking. You know, back in the day we did FSB and things like that. Now you just click an multiplier and it's authorized. Yeah, you guys have it easy. Try taking a Celeron from 1.8 up to 3.5. You guys have no idea. 3%. Give me a 50% over, 100% overclock. But yeah, so Precision Boost Overdrive is the feature, and it is basically being applied in the Adrenalin driver without users' permission, and it is overclocking both frontside bus and multiplier in the course of simply trying to overclock your GPU. Base clock overclock, I don't think it's doing base clock. I believe it's doing bus speed and multiplier, but it's doing it on Ryzen chips that have previously not been overclocked. They've not been overclocked in BIOS, and AMD's just going, hey, if you wanted to overclock your GPU, you probably wanted to overclock your CPU, right? So let's just go ahead and take care of all of that. Craft Computing, did that require moving jumpers on the board also? You bet it did. I've got a dual slot 1 Pentium 3 system out in my garage that I overclocked from 450 to 733.
All right.
Not bus speed overclock. That's what PBO does, or that's not what PBO does. I could have sworn somewhere I read frontside bus. They were overclocking bus speeds. Because I know it was multiplier. If it's not bus speed, it's been a long week. That's my... I mean, I was sick last week. As I told John before the stream started, because he was going, how are you doing? And I said, I'm great. You know, I wound up taking all 4 days for the weekend, and I could have used a fifth of whiskey.
Yes.
It was a long couple of weeks. I'm definitely feeling better, but all of a sudden the kids are all sick. Yay. So yeah, this does only affect AMD platforms. Obviously, Ryzen or Radeon Adrenalin doesn't have access to Intel overclocking features. That would be weird. But it is overclocking Ryzen CPU.
Yeah, and I mean, essentially, it's also doing a lot of laptops and lower end stuff technically that really doesn't need to be overclocked right now.
Right.
Or those, the mobile processors, or not the mobile processor, but the laptop processors that are using a different die, slightly different die. But they're not technically designed for overclocking, thus causing more heat, thus causing battery drain, and your brand new or semi brand new laptop could technically be draining its battery a lot faster and getting hotter. And you're just like, why is my fan turning on all the time? What's going on? I just updated, Yeah.
Sorry, what's really funny is someone said, is the turbo button on? The funny thing about the turbo button is it doesn't do what you think it does. Turbo on reduced the speed of the CPU. Say that again. Turbo, it was a permanent switch. It was a click switch that when you turned it on, slowed down your CPU, reduced the bus speed, and I believe in some cases also disabled extended memory. Because when we went from 286 to 386 and from 386 to 486, sure, the code itself is compatible, but we were doing programming at a level that relied on precise CPU speed to give me the end result in my game. And so one cycle of the CPU equaled one cycle of game time. If all of a sudden you went from 20 megahertz to 66 megahertz, your game is running 3.5 times fast. And so you would hit the turbo button and it would clock the CPU down and disable extended memory, which allowed legacy programs in DOS to run at native speeds on newer hardware. That's what turbo actually did. Yep, it did. Okay, yeah. It's been a long time since I've dealt with 486 architecture. So, like I said, I thought it disabled extended memory. So yeah, essentially you only got cache memory, which could be anywhere from 128 to 640 kilobytes of memory. Kilobytes of memory on a 486 processor. Back down to the standard, gosh, what was it? 64K on a 386? 286, excuse me. Yeah. If OC voids warranty, does that mean that all those are now void? Here's the deal with the OC warranty. When they ask you if you overclocked, you say, no. And unless it comes back with liquid nitrogen burns and Vaseline stuck to the side of it, you're probably okay. I have to preface that with your mileage may vary, but they can't prove an overclock, and you can't prove a negative. It's impossible to prove, no, I didn't. What they can prove is, yes, you did, under certain circumstances. So, when they ask, did you overclock the CPU? The answer is no.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, did you do or see anything funny for April Fools?
I did something funny.
You did something
I
funny?
did something funny.
Cool.
I witnessed a couple funny things. Let's see. In the Discord, in my Discord, which again, Patreon down below.
It was fun.
It was fun. We had Linus Sebastian in our Discord for a day, chatting with people, chatting it up, answering questions. In his very exuberant way, he was posting LTT videos to our embassy channel, which
pushing his merch,
ltcstore.com all over the place. Turns out that wasn't him. That was a Canadian significantly east of him. Thank you, ID Prom, for bringing me great joy. Yeah, so that was fun. Saw a couple of things happen. Overall, it was a fairly tame April Fool's Day. In what's the best prank you've ever played? Let's go on a slight tangent here. What's the best prank you've ever?
Oh, I've just done the typical IT, error. I went and wrote some code. I think it was last year. I wrote some code, and it was just the standard stuff of like, the keyboard. One was the keyboard for particular users. When they typed in certain words, this word would show up in their notes. I kept doing the screenshot of their icons of the desktop.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
I got to do really quick stuff at my work. I do it while I'm working on their computer and then walk away, and then 30 minutes later they call me back up type thing. There was that. But you know what's not a foolish thing to do is today's sponsor.
That's right. Thank you, John. I had almost forgotten. Jeez, it's almost 9 o'clock, and we haven't talked about today's video sponsor, Linode. Today's episode of Talking Heads is obviously brought to you by Linode. Who else would sponsor this garbage? If you've ever needed to host your own servers, whether it be for home or business use, but don't have the time, resources, hardware, power, or cooling, or even space, why not let Linode host them for you? If it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. That includes most of the tutorials from my channel, like how to run your own ad-blocking recursive DNS servers, VPN gateways, your own cloud-based Plex server, and more. With shared CPUs starting at as little as $5 per month and scaling up to as high as you need to go, you'll be able to find a hosting plan that fits your needs. Even if you do host your own servers, you can use Linode to keep a backup off-site, because remember, RAID is not a backup. Linode also recently announced they are the first alternative cloud provider to have NVMe block storage available to all customers. In September, they began rolling out NVMe drives to all 11 of their global data centers. Best of all, storage rates will remain at the same low price they always have been. Visit linode.com/craftcomputing and get a $100 60-day credit just for signing up for a new account. That's linode.com/craftcomputing, and thank you again to Linode for keeping John fed for the week.
That's right. And then you can take that savings and then use it to subscribe to, I was going to say Hops and Brews, but Craft Computing and
John, no one subscribes to Hops and Brews.
I know, right? I get one subscriber, and it's my mom.
Again.
She's like makes 2 accounts.
She just forgot her YouTube password, and so she made a new one.
So like, I'm going to make another one. I'll make another email. That's it. That's all I have.
I'm sorry. That was mean, but
that's fine. But yeah, so there actually was a pretty interesting, like some of the best April Fools or trolling work is always done on YouTube, and it's always a roll of a laugh. And some drones were in the air.
Were put into use, yes.
Were put into use.
So, over the skies of Dallas, Texas, on the evening of April the 1st, 2022, 300 drones took to the air and formed a specific shape, the shape of a QR code. That QR code happened to be linked to the Rick Astley YouTube channel and a specific video on his channel that you may have seen before.
You've probably seen it multiple times.
You've probably seen it multiple times. That link is pink on Reddit, but god dang it, I click it every single time. Yeah, here's some more research on this, or here's another paper on that study that we posted about here in Our Science. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Yeah. So someone rickrolled the entire metro area of Dallas, and I'm here for it.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm sure there was probably like promo code in the sky. Download this, because this is not the first QR code we've ever seen done by
someone
drones.
else did 300 drones in the sky that went to Coinbase, and no one cares.
Oh yeah, it'd be funny. Oh man, but yeah, this happened in the Olympics 2 years ago or whatever, where there's a QR code, I think for like a video game or something. But this is so much better. Yeah, so much better. It would have been hilarious if this happened at the Olympics, though. Yeah. If someone took that, if a hacker could somehow take that code the QR code and change it to be the link to be to everyone get the RickRoll video. Oh man, that would have been funny.
Yes. No, that would have been
a hack
hilarious.
of the century.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hacks, or we're talking about a lot of hacks, but
a lot of hacker news.
Yeah, but this is a hack, but still, it's still funny. It's still great.
Yeah, this isn't how we got hacked by Tom Lawrence. This is still Talking Heads, but
yeah. How is your stout now, Jeff? After an hour,
honestly,
of warming up,
as you can see,
there you go.
It evolved quite nicely.
Okay.
I am a little looser now, thanks to the 12.5%. Let me give you a full, conscious, unbiased opinion. It is definitely mellowed out. That sour note, while still present, is giving way to some really nice dark chocolate.
Well, a lot of good dark chocolates even kind of have a sour note.
Right. But where it was like sour, ooh, a little roasty before, now it's like, ooh, dark chocolate, roast, like it's warmed up, and I don't mean temperature, I mean body has warmed up quite significantly. Now there's a flavor there. I'm trying to think of the right descriptor for it. Will come.
All right.
How is your beer?
I've had mine before. It's a great hef.
Mm-hmm.
My taste buds are so high sensitive.
Right.
Everything is sweet.
Yeah.
I had a Bigfoot barley wine.
Oh God.
And those are always like hoppy and bitter and the like extreme IPAs. I was like, this is candy. It's so sweet. And my taste buds are just at a 35 million.
Hey John, this might be kind of fun. You've been going on this, and at first I will say, for those who don't know, John is on a 100% beer diet. He hasn't had food since February.
Yep.
Okay. Well, March 1st, but yeah.
March 1st.
Yeah, he hasn't eaten in a month. All he has done is consume beer. And when I first heard of this, I went, you crazy mother... Like, that was my gut reaction. And then I went, this has been done before. You can do it in a health-conscious manner. There are beers that you can target. There are types of beers you can target to get a good amount of calories, to get the right vitamins, nutrients, etc. If done right, yeah, sure, it could work.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to do this again next year, I will join you on this.
Oh man, I don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't know.
I may do it anyway.
It honestly. So wait till end of April. That's when my video will come. I'm gonna give lots of details, benefits, drawbacks.
Yeah.
Honestly, there actually is some pretty bad drawbacks that for you might actually affect you.
Yeah.
So
like I said, I'm very interested now. Whereas before I was like,
I'm interested in this as like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, great. Then I'm like, oh great, sure, this is great. But for 46 days is a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna come out in a review of that. And it'll probably be one of my longest videos too, just because there's a lot of information to get through. Yeah. And so there's gonna be a great transformation. So even though it's probably only gonna last like 30 seconds, but it's gonna look like one of those workout infomercials,
right? Or the pregnancy in reverse.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. It really does.
You've already told me how much you've lost. You don't have to say it here. Subscribe to Hops and Brews if you want to know.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Right. I'm interested. I'm curious. I'm interested to know more, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think for my channel could definitely be topical. So,
oh yeah, it is. As long as it's allowed, it's fine. It's perfect. Like you were saying, as long as you do it correctly, it's perfectly healthy.
Right.
It's been done hundreds of
I
years.
don't think I'll
by
do 46
multiple
days.
people.
I'll probably do 30.
30.
Why 30?
Is,
Because God, I love it.
oh God, yeah. No, honestly, I wish I did 30.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, for my first time, I really want to just stick to what the original version was.
Yeah.
And I would have been extremely happy at 30.
Yeah.
I think most people would be perfectly fine doing 2 or 3 weeks of this,
right,
and be perfectly happy. And really, it's not bad. The first week is the hardest, and after that, you cruise. You really do.
Yeah.
And
I've done some fasting before. I've done things like that, and yeah, after 3 or 4 or 5 days, it's like, how can people live like this? And then day 6 or 7, you all of a sudden get a second wind, and then you're just good.
Yeah,
exactly. I've done that before.
That's exactly what it is.
But I'm curious on beer.
It's
I'm curious the
fantastic
repercussions.
And horrible at the same
time.
Right,
I'm curious the highs and lows. That's where you've got me.
And my wife keeps asking me, like, what do you expect to get out of this? And I'm like, I just want the experience. And there's like a billion things within that experience,
right,
to get,
right,
and it's not just I'm going for one thing to see if I have the strength to do it. Yeah, that's nice, but there's willpower, there's taste buds, there's just all these things I can now apply. I did the goal I was setting out to do. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
We touched
on, it'll all be in the video.
Yeah, we touched on it a couple weeks ago. I'm really curious, once you go back and have your first bit of food, what that experience is like. And
that'll be interesting.
Not necessarily if it's changed, because it's going to change.
Yeah.
But how does it change? How is your appetite following? That's what I want to know.
An interesting thing, which will be, I'll talk a little bit about it right now. Is I'm willing now to try foods I would never want to.
Yeah.
Which is a very odd thing for me. Steve, you guys will probably know, especially, like all of us will know.
Yeah.
I'm picky. I'm a picky
eater. You're the pickiest of the four. I'm behind you at third place. I have certain aversions that are dead at, straight down non-negotiable.
I started looking, so my guiltiest pleasure to kind of get me through was looking at like food channels on YouTube and Instagram, and I got really into cooking now. That was the weirdest thing. And my wife said, like, my cooking has been the best, but I can't taste anything. And but I get to smell it all, so that's why I want to keep doing it, because it's the closest I get to.
Right.
But I'm using ingredients and things I would never eat myself.
You're like a college cheerleader. Just let me smell it a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a terrible joke.
That is, but I get it.
I do apologize if I offended you.
That's what
it had to be said.
But yeah, I'm telling my wife, like, I think when I'm done, I want to try this. Mm-hmm. Whether I like it or not, I still want to try it. I want to give things a second try, because now my palate is so raw.
Right. You're 45 days cleansed. Like, it doesn't get more.
Yeah. So, but I do have another beer to open.
Yes, as do I. I will say, once it warmed up, that sour note didn't completely go away, but it's now equivalent to what you would get out of a middle of the road bourbon. Like I didn't necessarily taste the corn sweetness, but a little bit of that sour mash was still kind of present in the overall flavor. There's a lot of dark chocolate, a lot of roast. There's a creaminess to it, but it's not like the normal, like, vanilla caramel kind of thing. There's something else there, and I'm trying to put into words what exactly that upper flavor was on this Yeti. And I had something, and then I lost it, and it's going to drive me nuts, because it was a really good comparison. But it did warm up. It did open up. It did, either that or my tongue just started rejecting the sour notes, which is also completely bomb.
Oh, yeah.
But The bottom, I mean, this is only a 12-ounce beer. The bottom 7 ounces were delightful.
Well, at that big, that's still nice. That's fantastic. I
Right.
mean, you're talking more than half the beer,
right?
Basically half the beer,
right?
So
I wish I would have opened this and let it breathe a little bit more before going for it, or maybe let it warm up. Maybe drink it as the second beer. But I wanted to celebrate. This is
I mean, you start off with a celebration.
This has been a long 5 years, and it's been a freaking awesome 5 years.
I know it was kind of weird seeing like 5 years ago, I still owned the tap room. It was like, oh man,
no, I'm sad.
I know. Oh, but
John, you need to do us both a favor and open another.
I do, or at least like a small brewery or something.
You need to do something, and you need to do something close to me.
I'm not going to drive to Salem again.
Oh, Jeff. Come on, you got to.
I already drive to Portland.
You can either no. I'm saying leave entirely, and go open a brewery. And
I'll just do one on my farm. I'll just do it at my farm.
Yeah, I mean it works for level.
Yeah.
Why not? We know people. We can get you started.
We could. That's the thing. I don't think
John, we could make this happen.
Craft beer. We'll call it craft. Yeah, we could.
We can call it just craft beer. How about that?
Yeah, we'll just call it craft beer, and then we'll have a whole line of competing beers.
Right.
We'll compete with Level Brewing.
Right. I need to find out, was Level Brewing founded before 2017? If so, I may have trademark rights on a lot of the things that they've been doing.
No. So I know when they were founded after you.
After me, that's right.
They were originally, they got rebranded though. They are Uptown Brewing.
Are they Uptown Brewing now?
They're Uptown, and they just rebranded.
Okay. That's right. They opened an official brewery. They're no longer Barn Brewed in Portland. Right.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
Yeah, they went official. They went legit.
Yeah, essentially. All right, so I'm gonna go with something pretty easy, but it's a WelderWorks double dry hop juicy bits. It's a very fantastic, just nice IPA, 6.7.
I've not had that, but it sounds delicious.
Yeah, I think it's like an untapped rating like 4 or 5. So like it's like toppling Goliath as
right for
hazy.
For a standard 6.5% hazy, that's a perfect score.
Yeah. So it's just mango and citrus, and it smells fantastic.
Right. I am going for, I don't even know who this is. Brewer owned New York craft Artisanal Brewworks. Artisanal Brewworks in Saratoga Springs, New York. Okay.
I know Artisanal.
Yeah, they didn't label anything on the front of it hardly. I guess it's in his beard. Artisanal Brewworks. This is the Irish Cream Multiple Infinities. It is an imperial stout aged on cocoa nibs with Irish cream, and it is 9.0%. John didn't get quite that. Yeah, there's mine.
Yeah.
Go. So yeah, today's dark beer night, apparently. I had a different beer scheduled, but the Yeti had to come in and had to be open tonight. So you're getting a double dose of dark.
Nope.
Yeah.
This beer was actually sent to me by Avor for free. Yes.
Go. Oh, look at that.
Ooh, nice caramely head. Look at that. That's what a stout is supposed to look like.
Right. How stiff is the head? Bad.
Ooh, are you gonna go over? Are you gonna go over? Oh, he's holding. It's holding.
It's holding. It's working. It's working. Yeah. Oh, that's a good looking beer.
That's a good looking beer.
9%, not the biggest stout, not barrel aged, but aged on
9% still good.
Aged on cocoa nibs and with Irish cream added. Zilsta says, annoying AF. Well, you can click out at any point. More than welcome to.
Fine. Yeah. Someone said someone's mic's popping, but I don't hear any popping.
Someone's mic's popping. Who knows?
I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have some beer news. We can get into that, and we got some stuff we'll end up talking about. I'm sure we're going to want to talk about a lot of it later. Yep. So
we do have one more piece of tech news.
Did we?
I'm going to click on it and then click off because that's all it deserves.
Okay.
Valve is quote unquote ramping up production of the Steam Deck. As any company would say in any interview when they've introduced a new product that is in high demand.
Great.
Yes, of course. They are making as many as people want to buy. Like, I don't know why this article was even written. But it was written. And people are going to ask about it. There it is.
The last time I was on, we talked about this. And so what happened was, and a lot of you, we've talked about it throughout the years of Talking Heads, is Stone Brewing was suing Keystone Light for rebranding their beer to Stone. Or grab a Stone, essentially. And back in 2000 or
Keystone.
Yeah, I liked Keystone.
He was awesome. Not gonna lie.
I liked him. I like those commercials.
Terrible beer, great commercial.
Exactly. Like it was either 2019 or 20, Stone decided to sue them for the branding because they rebranded to Grab a Stone, and Stone was the prominent name on their box. And then 2 weeks ago, they officially went to court. Well, that court hearing got settled or got decided, and the jury found that Stone Brewery was correct. And they won a $56 million trademark lawsuit. However, Stone is claiming victory to this, but it is not for the full amount that they wanted to. It is not the $216 million, but still, basically the jury said that it was unintentional copyright infringement for the past 5 years or 4 years, whatever it was. Exactly.
What word am I saying now? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Stone is still claiming victory because this is probably the biggest victory a craft brewery has had over the big guy.
Absolutely.
So that's good for you, Stone. I know some people do have their reservations of Stone being jerks and whatnot. Honestly, when you're like the third largest craft brewery in the nation that's still craft, and you're one of the biggest beer distributors still.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to protect your assets. Sometimes things are not part of the head of the ownership. It's just some admin trying to protect their rights. And when you're in the middle of a lawsuit, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, there's another small brewery with the name Stone in it."
Yeah.
And not like still try to protect it.
It's not a smaller brewery. That's the deal. If this was some brewery in Podunk, California that no one had ever known about, then unintentional, sure, I buy it.
Well, this is what happened was that actually did happen. There was it was like called Stone Works, something along that lines. And they found out that Stone Brewery found out about them in the middle of their lawsuit.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to put a cease and desist order to show, hey, look,
we're protecting
we are protecting no matter what, but it makes them look really bad because it was just a little like mom and pop brewery. Yeah. I'm sure in the back end, it was like, hey, we just need you to do this.
Right.
You could take it. We don't care.
We'll license it for $2. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but it doesn't look good because news articles and everything will take it out of proportion.
Yep.
The big brewery going after the small craft brewery. And it's like, no, if you go and like Reddit subs and everything, it's like, no, like Greg Kolsch, he's like, we don't care.
Yeah. It's been a weird week on my channel. This is a little
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not quite related, but it also kind of is, because I'm someone who doesn't take a lot of crap. I don't suffer fools lightly, and I'm now in a public position. I'm now in a position where people recognize me. They know my name. I'm not hot crap. I'm not, you know, the hottest thing since sliced bread. I still know I'm just a guy in a basement. Don't get me wrong here. But I do have 260,000 subscribers. I do have, you know, 600,000 views per month at, you know, in the worst of months. People know who I am. Some people know who. I get a lot.
I still use your name.
Right. Right. I mean, I'm still just Jeff or Jackass or Hey You, or, you know.
Well, when I'm trying to impress like sponsors, I'm like, hey, go check out this channel I'm part of.
Oh, now you're writing on my code too. Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So some people are offended that I get defensive on my channel. Some people are offended that when someone talks crap on Twitter, I'll go after them and roast them. For me, it's a fun pastime, because why not? You know? And on my YouTube channel, I try not to be defensive as far as like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm always the first to admit if I did something wrong, or if I got information wrong. I love learning. I'm always all about learning. But an armchair quarterback is an armchair quarterback, and I'm more than happy to call them as. And so, tying this back into Stone, Stone gets a bad name in some circles because they're like, here's this massive corporation going after, you know, the little mom and pop store and whatnot. It's like, you have to defend your brand. And especially when you're involved in a lawsuit involving your brand name, you kind of have to. Stone also likes to clap back on Twitter. So does Wendy's. So does some other places. It's really funny when I clap back at people who are all of a sudden plumbing experts or HVAC experts, or they revisionist historical, you know, authoritarians on the naming of wine, about how wrong I am on things. And no, I'm actually not. That I clap back and people are like, you should just take the constructive criticism. You should just take, you know, you're so big, you should just be who you are. And I am who I am. And I'm not a dick, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to clap back at people. And I kind of view Stone corporately kind of in that same mindset. Like, I understand now. I understand when people attack you justly, whatever it might be. Sometimes this position, you get a hell of a lot of crap. Sometimes this position, you get complaints out of nowhere. I get, Jeff loves keyboard warriors.
Oh yeah. No, well, similar thing is.
I'm more than happy to argue back because of a point in my video or a way I did something, or I don't give a crap if you use Vim. It doesn't matter because I was editing a text file.
Yeah.
It still worked, like, it doesn't matter. And I'm a dick because I'm now defending it, even though they're like, well, they're entitled to their opinion. Yeah, and so am I. I'm still a person on this end of thing. And so in situations like this, I'm a little bit more empathetic to even corporations and very large international businesses like Stone.
Yeah. No, I am actually quite surprised too how much like hate and pushback just on what I'm doing for these 46 days. It's like, oh my gosh, people are
the craft beer Reddit. Oh my
God. It's like, oh my gosh, geez. I even had I think it was Rev.
What a bunch of self-righteous assholes. Let me just say that.
Like when I first, like for the first week, and then I was like, dude, Rev, check this out. And he jumped on. It was just like, oh my gosh, John's getting hate.
Right. What's really funny is half of my brand is craft beer.
Yeah.
And like, I'm as much of a craft beer fanatic as anyone you will ever meet.
Oh yeah.
I still like cocktails more, but the craft beer fanatics and the evangelists and whatnot, who is, it's not just like a personality, or it's not just something they enjoy. It's the definition of their personality. It's a personality trait. It's their personal identity. Grow up. Like,
yeah. No. Oh yeah. I know, because I'll get people like that too. And they're technically you did this wrong in your video. It's like, dude, I don't care. Whatever. Shut up.
Don't forget the perfect way to apply thermal paste. I did have a special video on that for my patrons only. Or no, that was at the end of an actual video. That's right. I forgot about that.
But there's something. I guess so my farm, like we were talking about opening up a brewery there. One of the horrible things is it's wastes a lot of my time. Unfortunately, I don't get to brew his beer as much. I've been so busy. I moved recently, and just been busy. And then during the winter storm, was it a year and a half ago, a bunch of trees fell down at my farm. And then I had a windstorm back.
My place too.
Yeah, I had a windstorm that hits back in Thanksgiving. I think it was like 8 more trees fell down. I think 2 more trees fell down just recently. So I've been cutting up trees left and right. I love trees. I love the trees at my farm because it's just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I have
your farm
one
is
neighbor.
Amazing.
I had one neighbor. Now I used to not see him. Now I see him. It's like, I can't wait to go back and plant some more trees.
Right.
There is a beer company that's trying to do something to help trees, but I don't think they're doing it in the best way possible. Busch Light has launched a Save a Tree by peeing into a Busch can campaign. So you pee in a bush, not on a tree. And there's a kit that they're supplying you that for $20, they want you to pee in their bush can instead of a tree. And for every dollar that they make, they will plant a tree. I think their goal is 5,000 trees. So it's really not that many, but still.
I do appreciate they include do not pee if cap is sealed, or do not drink if cap is sealed. I don't know if everyone else can see that.
I told my wife, I was like, they're literally advertising their beer as the piss beer. I mean, this is just Busch Light is piss beer. Once you're done,
I've had a similar setup on road trips before. I'm not gonna lie. Sir, are you aware it's illegal to travel with open containers?
I'm sorry. I mean,
I have to use the actual nomenclature, and that's operate a motor vehicle, not travel, because travel's for the.
It's just. I know. There's humor in this, but it's like maybe they didn't quite think this out about, like, most people make fun of them for being piss beer. Really? Come on, guys. Found it hilarious. Kind of found it funny. But yeah, so if you want to save a tree, plant some 5,000 trees, go spend $20 on a Busch funnel. There's that. That's fun. So as I'm on this diet,
still better than Busch.
Still better than just regular Busch. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff. I'm drinking a lot of water. I drink an average between 3 to 4 liters of water a day, just to keep my organs all going.
Yes. And
my poop flowing freely. When I say poop, I mean pee on both ends.
I could have waited for your video for that information, personally.
Have you ever enjoyed any of those, like, flavored water droplet type things? You squirt a little water.
Oh, like the Mio or
something. I'm sure you've seen them.
The supercharge your water kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. All that. You've seen that, obviously.
Right.
Well, how about supercharging your beer to taste like Miller Lite?
I thought that was just crack a can of Miller.
I know. So Miller Lite is doing what they're referring to, and this is the real thing. I tried to buy it today, and it's coming out. So officially it's launching tomorrow. So if you go to their website, and it's only $4.09 and free shipping. So kind of an odd number there. But their goal is, hey, crack open a light beer you don't like, make it taste more like Miller Lite, and drop this Miller Drop, I believe it's called Miller
Beer drops.
Beer drops into it, and it's gonna taste like Miller Lite. No. But I want to try it. I want to try
it. I'm running on joke overflow. So let me try to parse like all of them that just came into my head together into like one sentence. Is concentrated Miller Lite just a regular beer?
Well, I've done that video already.
Right. I know you've distilled it. But they've taken the hard work for you.
I know.
Is this just an ounce of beer?
A real beer.
Of actual beer?
Each drop is actually 5%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, I went in there. I guess it officially went on secretly, was on today for sale. And they say tomorrow. So I'm gonna go try again tomorrow. And they're only selling a limited amount per day. So I'm gonna go try tomorrow. If anyone is on the channel, if they can get it, I will pay you double. You buy it and
I'll give you $8.18.
Exactly. So I have no problem doing that. So if you can get a hold of some,
if someone, tell you what, here we go. If someone gets a bottle of this, I will put a bounty of $20 on it, and I'll shoot the video with you.
Nice. All right. There we go.
If someone gets it, I will pay you $20 straight up. You ship it to me. I will shoot a video with John.
Ooh, I already have an idea. I would do it.
No. You don't get to editorialize this crap. This is my bounty.
I would. Here's the video. Then
you'd bring out like pickle juice or something.
No. We'll go get a bunch of light beers. And then we blind taste someone, a third party puts this,
gets like some seltzer.
And then puts this. So we'll get like 5 beers.
Yeah.
Or 4 beers, and one of them is an actual Miller Lite.
Okay.
And then the other.
No. Here's the deal. I think we need to know what the Miller Lite is. I think we need to. Here's the Miller Lite. Here's your reference. Okay. Now here's your 4 blind ones, and one of them is seltzer water with Miller Lite drops, and the other 3 are either the same beers or beers with the Miller drops. Like we could go.
Something along, you get where I'm going at. So that's the video right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so someone out there, if you can make
that could totally work.
Get it, that would work. That'd be a fun video.
It's been a long time since I've shot a video with you. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Someone can make that.
That was 3 months ago.
Free shipping. I'll pay shipping too. I'll give you the 32 cents for crap. No, sorry. Sorry. What year is it? Sorry, $1.50 for a flat rate envelope.
Yes. So that's all of our beer news. Let's do the second one.
Yes, I was gonna say these need to flip.
Yeah, these need to flip.
10 forward is trending, by the way, on Twitter. I'm assuming. I don't see it here. Steph Curry, Anakin is trending. Whatever reason.
Every 5 minutes something new is trending, so it doesn't really.
Yep. Anyway, sorry, just random tweet. Bye. John J says, 10 forward is trending, by the way. Light beer is not beer, LOL. I kind of agree, but I'm also not a hater. Like, if that's what you like,
drink what you like. And honestly, I don't mind light beers because I have a lot of really good non-alcoholic beers. When I had a 4% beer the other day, I was like, this is a good beer. So that's a light beer. It's fine. It's just when I guess when I get a bunch of haters like, oh, I drink 24 beers on a weekend. Yeah, but you're drinking. Do you really? Beers. I mean, you're drinking a 24 pack and you're like 300 pounds. And then I'm me, but I'm also drinking like a 10% beer. That's 19 ounces. It's like, come on, man. It's completely different.
Right. Let's see. Let's compare my beer.
Yeah, it's like literally that is like 4 Miller Lights.
You're not wrong.
I mean, so it's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool, man. Like what you like, but man, maybe then just respect then me too, what I'm doing.
Right. Honestly, that's my whole jam. Is I don't care what you do. You do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
But let me do what makes me happy too. Like,
I literally said nothing to piss you off.
right.
And then you're pissed off that I had something. And it's like, but I wasn't directing it at you.
It's a microcosm of doing reviews online too. Like, I will do a review of something that someone bought, and I will disagree with their opinion of it. And now I'm a sham and a shill and you know, paid informant and
promoting only the brands you like that
right.
you get paid for.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how many brands give me money?
Yeah.
1. Sorry, if I go back
and
to
that's our sponsor Lenovo today, so make sure to check out Lenovo.
Right. If I go back to last year, it's 4. And you know what? It wasn't very much money. And it was for ads that I ran on my channel. And I ran their competitors' ads like back to back. So it's like, I don't care.
I got accused for I was a promoter of brands, of beer brands. And so therefore this was all false. I had people being like, the tab's not even open on that beer. He's not drinking it. It's a picture. It's a millisecond in time.
Right.
I just took it and then snapped it later.
Guess what?
Gosh.
I opened it off camera.
Yeah. It's like, oh my, yeah. But then I got people like, so I started taking pictures of me drinking it.
You need one of those Microsoft life cams.
Yeah, and they're like, you're not showing us the label.
Yeah. What about Patriot Viper? That was one of the 4 last year. Like, as far as the brands that I work with, that I like receive product from and whatnot, I took money from 4 of them. Yeah, Patriot Viper, Be Quiet, who else? EVGA last year. I did some EVGA ads. I think I did some Lexar ads last year. Big Lexar shill, am I?
Well, have you ever done any IKEA?
Never done IKEA ads. Although I've pushed their lack table quite a bit. Oddly enough.
Yeah. IKEA, if you are looking for furniture, and if you can build your own PC, you can build some IKEA furniture. It's fine. It just takes an Allen wrench. So I hope you're good with that. But if you go check out their IKEA smart lamp, get what you could do with it. You, like this person here, you could play Doom because it is powerful enough to play Doom.
Exactly right.
Why not, right? Who doesn't want a lamp that can play Doom?
One of the favorite things that I've seen is a comment that said, "Can it run Doom is the antithesis of can it run Crisis." And I don't know why, because I should have already like made that connection in my brain, but those neurons over 30 years hadn't crossed paths, and that blew my freaking mind. Because the joke of Can It Run Crisis was, sure, you may have an 8800 GT NVIDIA card or a 9550 AMD card, Radeon, but you can only run Crisis at 1080p, like 20 FPS with dips down to like 8. Like, you can't really run it at max settings. Can your video card run Crisis? That was the whole joke, is Crisis was so far beyond what the scope of video card power for that day was. You had to have the cream of the crop, and that lasted for like 6 or 7 years. Like, you couldn't run Crisis at ultra settings, 1080p, and get a locked 60 FPS until Maxwell. Like,
yeah,
2012.
14, I think it was.
Yeah,
something
I think
like
Pascal was 2015, 2016. But yeah, it was like 2012, 2013. You could finally run Crisis on the enthusiast card, the GTX 980, at 1080 60 with ultra settings. Can it run Doom is the complete opposite of that. It's the low spec gamer of can it run Crysis. It is the how crappy of an integrated circuit can we run Doom and call it running Doom.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff run Doom. I mean, this is just a fun thing to see.
This really is just a fun thing, but
it's just a fun thing. It was like, oh, it has enough power. This just also shows how far technology has advanced. And, you know, literally back in the 90s, and, you know, the joke was your Texas calculator had more power in it, at least when I was growing up, than what it took to go to the moon type thing. Which my Texas calculator could run Doom.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of just, that's the running joke now, is what little bit of technology in the stupidest thing that's probably a $15 IKEA lamp now can run Doom, to where back in the early 90s, you had to spend probably $500 on that computer to run Doom. You know, your home computer.
Yeah.
So, it's just amazing how far stuff's gone. But, you know, I still love playing Doom every now and then. It is a little outdated, but sometimes I love playing like 1 or 2 levels, and that's about it.
Right. Like, I'm trying to think. Recently, my retro PC build. My retro PC build.
Yeah.
I ran through a bunch of the different open source ports for the Doom engine. Trying to find the one that gave me the best modern control layout.
Oh, okay.
That is full mouse look, because remember when Doom came out, WASD wasn't a thing. You ran with the number keys. You ran with the arrow keys.
Arrow keys.
You took your hand off of the arrow keys to hit space to open the doors. Control fired your weapon, or your mouse click fired your weapon, if you were really into that. But most of the time, we didn't play with a mouse. It was right hand on the arrow keys, your thumb was on space, and then you had Control and Alt, and then Shift, Z, and C for some alternate actions. That was the control scheme for 3D games of the day.
It was always, your cross points were always straight dead center,
right,
all the time.
Right. So what I was looking for was a Doom port, a source port of the engine that would give me some more modern control, so I could use WASD and full mouse look 100% of the time and still feel both like Doom and like a modern shooter. And I did land on one. I don't remember which one I landed on, but I found one that I really enjoyed, and it worked perfectly with my mouse and keyboard setup. So yeah, I ran through the first episode of Doom, the first 7 levels, as recently like 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. I think I just played some classic Doom on some really bad chipset, but I ran through like 1 or 2 levels. But it was still the arrows and spacebar and everything like that.
Oh, you wanted Duke Nukem 3D? No, I didn't want the build engine. That's a different thing entirely. And in fact, I do like running some eDuke 32 to run back through Duke Nukem 3D and Ion Maiden, which should have been named Iron Maiden, but screw you, Iron Maiden. Yeah, GZ Doom I think GZ Doom is what I landed on. It was either GZ Doom or Chocolatey Doom. Descent was one of my favorite games back in the day. Descent Rebirth. Look up Descent Rebirth. Do yourself a favor. Descent Rebirth. Me later. Because Doom isn't a real 3D graphics wise. No, it's not a real 3D game. It is all sprites, and it's not vector. It's some other type of 3D. Duke Nukem 3D is better than Doom. I don't think that's that controversial of an opinion. Wolfenstein was technically the trendsetter, and then Doom came out and made it an official genre. And then there were a bunch of Wolfenstein and Doom clones based on the same engine. And then Duke Nukem 3D came out, and turned the whole genre up on its head and turned it up to 11. And that progression of those 3 games, Wolfenstein to Doom 2, which came out only like 8 months later. Yeah, it wasn't that long. It was 94 to 95. So it was Wolfenstein, Doom 2, Duke Nukem 3D.
Then Duke Nukem,
those 4 games cemented the first-person shooter.
And I would say, for me, what I remember was the LAN parties wasn't really Doom, was Duke Nukem was the LAN party. And that's really,
it depends on the year, because I went to LAN parties where Doom was the thing.
Yeah, well, Steve would probably know more because he was in it tomorrow. But when I started in, was Duke Nukem.
Just Steve was 20 already.
I know, right? Well, he was hauling his CRT around,
right, in his own car.
He was like engaged and everything, so he had a car.
What's really funny is Steve is the one friend that I have that's been married longer than I have.
I'm 3 years behind you.
Something like that, yeah. 2006 for me.
2008.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 years behind me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it's so there's another favorite thing that you and I love that's been going on, and we can talk briefly about this and then get into some other stuff too if you want to, obviously.
We're gonna get into
this one. We'll get, but let's briefly touch on this because it is beautiful. It is gorgeous looking. We do make jokes about this every now and then because there are certain episodes that are just cringeworthy. But my God,
from every series, be fair,
but one of the best intros. I've always loved the graphics of this intro. And
DS9 or Voyager?
I'm talking Voyager.
Voyager is amazing. Voyager's intro is second to none.
I think Voyager's intro is probably one of the best, if not the best intro in all of Star Trek.
I agree.
Visually for the time.
What, you don't have Faith of the Heart?
Well, which remix are we talking about here? Because I am more the upbeat version.
Yeah.
I think didn't Hanson redo that or something like that? But my God, for the time, I think Voyager had the best orchestra, the soundtrack of the intro, and visuals of the intro. It's just so much. They poured so much money. UPN was like, we gotta make this thing a star.
Right. It was after Moesha. Make sure to watch Voyager.
Yeah. Moesha. Oh my
Moesha. Yeah. Yeah. So I will say, Voyager definitely had the better score as far as the intro goes, the better visuals, the cutting through the rings on the planet and the nebula fields.
God, that was so beautiful.
There were so many just drop dead gorgeous shots.
Gorgeous shots. Exactly.
And
DS9 was really good though too.
The joke with DS9 is they never went anywhere, but it's really funny that DS9 covered more miles than any other Star Trek ever did.
Yeah.
Right. It's like they're on a space station, they never go anywhere except for like every episode that they travel the entire journey of Voyager twice.
Well, I mean, not necessarily Voyager,
but you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. I get you.
Like,
yeah.
It was
in total mileage back and forth. Yeah, right. You're totally right.
They got so much travel in a Deep Space Nine, but the intro for DS9, remember, for the first 3 seasons was just like the station itself and a runabout leaving.
Yeah.
They didn't redo that until Worf came in season 4, and all of a sudden you got, like ships that were docking and
the
craft were moving around.
The Defiant leaving,
and jumping into the wormhole. Like, oh heck yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was beautiful. And it just their brass section in that was
the trumpets.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But the French horns in Voyager, tear to my eye every time.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's fantastic. And so there has been a YouTuber who has, if we're Star Trek fans, this guy is wow.
Puts me to shame.
It puts us to shame. He has made it his life goal, nonprofit, by himself, no backing, to remaster Voyager and DS9. And my gosh, the scenes that he has already pushed out, and he's planning on doing both series in full.
Yes.
But the scenes that he has pushed out in the past couple of years, oh my gosh, they're amazing. And he's done
Sacrifice of Angels.
It's so good. It's so good. If you love Trek, if you even just love the idea of upranging the pixels, upgrading that. If you're a videographer or anything like that, you know what the painstaking work it takes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a work of art. It is so beautiful looking to make old graphics still look crisp, sharp, and refreshing. There are a couple scenes that there's a little blur in like some of the live action scenes, but it still looks so much better than the original.
I let that go.
I let it go.
Here's the deal. Next Generation got an HD remaster. And part of that was because it was shot on film. There's a lot more resolution available to remaster than the original TV broadcast delivered.
Oh yeah.
And the original DVD cuts delivered, as there just wasn't enough data.
Yeah, everything was cut down and everything was compressed.
Right. And so it was all shot on film, and so they were able to literally rescan everything. They redid a lot of visual elements, or enhanced a lot of the visual elements with the help of CG, which wasn't available for TNG for the most part. And released a Blu-ray cut, which is honestly gorgeous. Oh, yeah. DS9, they could do the same thing. The problem is the TNG remaster in Blu-ray was done for physical media. It was done to literally push copies off the shelf. It was done so people who bought the entire VHS collection and wanted to migrate to a Blu-ray collection could do so. Now that you can stream DS9 from like 10 different platforms, it's kind of hard to justify Paramount spending $4 million to remaster DS9. And we all know it'd be way more than that, because they're going to do more than pay 3 guys to sit around a basement somewhere. And
there's going to be,
although they probably should just do that, because for $4 million, I'll remaster DS9.
Oh, yeah.
You give me half up front and half when it's done, you can consider it done in the next year.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So, yeah.
In fact, I volunteer.
But then there was Voyager. Now, Voyager was shot completely different.
Voyager was not shot in film. They were shot digitally. And they were shot 480i digital.
And that's the big problem.
What you see is what they got.
That's where the beauty of what this guy is doing is actually the beauty.
Right, is the AI enhancement to what was originally captured. Now, he will be releasing this at some point, so long as he's not DMCA'd, shut down, cease and desist, whatever else. Check him out. Link is in the description. John, we need to get on to some bigger news.
We do. Okay, what do you want to know? Because there's a lot of news, Jeff.
How much time do you have?
I got all night.
Cool. You may want to
go a little bit long.
I don't want to go too long tonight, but just FYI, you might want to jump on the Patreon if you're not already, because we will be extending this show into the after show. Join the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. Get access to the Discord for as little as $1 per month, although more is definitely appreciated. Helps keep the lights on here. Excuse me.
And it's not just a tech Discord. It honestly is so much more. There's a trade area. There is a whole like tutorial how to weld and caulk stuff. And when I mean caulk, I mean like windows and seals and everything. There's a whole area. There's
He'll teach you Norwegian while he's doing it. It's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can swear in 6 languages now. It used to be 4.
There's like food and beer area where you'll find me a lot. There is an exclusive one just for talking heads. There is the standard chat. There is just so much. You got a car? We got one of those. You like photography? We got a channel for that. You like a lot of stuff? We got a channel for that. It is not just tech. And the community there is a phenomenal community. It's one of the most active Discords I've ever been on. I'm sorry, but it is. I paid for other Discords, and it's just like, oh, I go there, I get 2 updates, 3 updates, and I'm paying way more than I don't pay anything for this one, but still, I come back to this one, and like we were saying, I'm busy, but I'm getting like 50 updates. It's like, hey, you got notified this, you got notified that. And if you want to talk, Jeff, myself, Steve, Rhett, the other hosts of Talking Heads, you DM us, you ping us. We're gonna respond to you probably within like an hour, less than that.
I don't sleep much.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids. I'm literally always awake.
So yeah, anyone wants to talk to us, you want to get personal inside information, like, hey, this is who we really are.
Okay, you're taking too much time promoting. Let's start talking, because there's a lot here.
You lead, I'll follow.
I think we need to start with the announcement, and then we'll get to the review, because the announcement, I think, in a lot of ways supersedes the review. Holy crap!
It really does. It really does.
Holy crap! For those who don't know, and if it wasn't patently obvious, we're pretty big Star Trek fans here. And it's not just 90s Trek, but it's a lot of 90s Trek. It's TNG, DS9, Voyager, a little bit Enterprise. We definitely like Picard. We've watched Discovery. Love Lower Decks. Like,
for sure,
we're Star Trek fans. Okay, we like it.
We're OG Star Trek fans,
right? Trekkies.
We're Trekkies.
Trekkies, not Trekker. Screw you people. Season 3 of Picard, we knew was official. We knew had been announced. We knew had been pretty much shot and wrapped already.
And we know it's the last. It is ending.
Season 3 of Picard will be the last. We now know that the cast includes, let me start at the top, Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, Thorne, R. Burton, Brent Spiner, Curtis, Gates McFadden. I didn't mean to put the women last. I really did not.
It's just the order.
Right. I went Picard, and then I went top row and bottom row. It's like, oh, crap. Crap, they're down here with them. Of course they are.
You'd think it'd have been Riker, right?
Right? Yeah, you think, I mean, Riker's married to one of them.
Well, he's got back problems, so he's probably like, I gotta stand.
Right. Not standing for one reason. The entire TNG crew, bridge crew, unfortunately, there's a couple names omitted. We'll talk about that in a second, but
yeah,
the core bridge crew, the core 7-year crew, is back for Picard season 3, and the announcement trailer shivers up my spine.
Oh, it was so great. I think it dropped yesterday, right? I think it dropped yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, wait, what is this? Wait, because it was in the middle of season 2.
Right.
And you're like, why are they
Episode 5 dropped 4 days ago. And here they're saying, season 3. Oh, get ready for season 3. I'm still involved in season 2. Like, I didn't even started thinking.
I mean, honestly, here's my honest opinion. I now wish they waited for the antagonist of season 2 to be season 3.
Right?
I was like, who are you going to get? Oh my gosh, it would have been so much better
if it was the original TNG crew against Q.
Exactly. It was like, oh, I didn't know you had a new crew, Jean-Luc. Too bad.
Yeah. I figured we'd get the band back together. Now here's the deal. Here's the deal. I called how he would let me catch up.
Oh, we called it. We totally called it.
I so wish they had taken my idea for this, because I had the same thing. Like, if you want to do a nostalgia party, if you want to bring everyone back together, have Q bring them back together, and Geordi's no longer on whatever ship he was on. Riker's no longer on the Titan. And down it comes, and everyone's like, how the hell did we get here? Oh, we're going to play another game.
He traveled, everyone failed and never got their commission or whatever, and they're all like stuck where they were.
I want the 7 of them, and then Beckett Mariner.
Oh yeah.
I want Tawny Newsome to appear and be like, what the hell?
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been great if. I mean, now that you think about it, it would have been a great segue instead of Q this season. I understand they did Q this season, but still, it was just like, you're doing this now. I would have made so much more because the series started with Q, it ended with Q, and it could end with Q again.
Right.
And it was the greatest antagonist. Now, so far, he's doing a great, I think, decent job of what they're doing. I'm looking for it, but now I'm like, I honestly am curious, who's the villain? Because season 1 of Picard was the Borg already, so and the Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's out. They're not going to repeat that. Season 2, which what we're on, is Q. They're not going to repeat that.
Hold on. We have to. We know that Picard takes place. Hold on, it takes place after Lower Deck. I was gonna say, what if it's the Packlids?
Oh God, no! It takes place no. Because yeah, it takes.
Sorry, withdrawn.
Yeah, because we see Riker and Troy in Lower Deck.
Right. Yeah, and they're still on the Titan.
Right. Yeah, and he's still a captain, not an admiral.
Yeah. No, Riker's never an admiral. Riker's still a captain.
No, he's Admiral Riker.
He's a captain. He is on a leave of absence because of his son, because of Thad.
Daughter. Oh yes, that's right.
No.
Sorry. Yeah. That.
Yeah. He is on a leave of absence because they went to Nepenthe and we're trying to
cure him.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I remember now. Will there be any ghosts in this one? Do you think?
Maybe a little Patrick Swayze action.
Yeah. So yeah, very excited for season 3.
Yes.
Hope it's a great, good, big send off. I really hope. Right. Oh, there's also a lot of original crew coming back too. There's a lot of that, a lot of the backhands, the backstage, a lot of visual artists, the crew building stuff. So I'm really hoping for some practical.
I'm really hoping for that Zimmerman character to make an appearance.
I wouldn't even mind a decommissioned Enterprise E.
You know what I want?
That would be awesome.
You know what I want? So they announced the Enterprise bridge crew, which is great. I kind of want something more. I kind of want, like, we do have Whoopi. Like, yeah, Whoopi showed up and she did her thing, and I'm cool with what Whoopi did. And I don't mean this negatively, but I'm kind of done with Whoopi. Like, I'm done. You know, I thought Guinan wrapped up nicely with a bow in Star Trek Generation, and I don't think we need to continue that on. Because obviously now Picard has Raffi and Seven and a couple other, you know, characters that he trusts very deeply in. And so I don't know that he necessarily needs Guinan as a character anymore. What I want is I'm looking at this crew. I'm looking at Picard and Troy and Crusher and Geordi and Riker and Worf and Data, or not Data, sorry, whatever Soong happens to be in commission. I'm looking at this crew and I'm going, who's your helmsman?
True.
I want Robbie McNeil. I want Tom Paris.
You want Tom Paris?
If one more character makes the rounds, I want Tom Paris at the helm. If you give me one. I'm even skipping Cisco. I'm skipping O'Brien. I'm skipping...
No, I'd rather have O'Brien.
I want O'Brien
back.
too. O'Brien's number 2.
I would love to have a cameo. I'll take a cameo of O'Brien.
Yeah. I would love to have O'Brien back. Like, he's still in the underbelly of the ship. Like...
Something
crawling
like
through Jeffrey's tubes.
No. What it is they need him to like do a transporter thing.
Yeah.
It's like, please, just transport us. He's the teacher for the engineering school at Star Trek University still.
Yeah.
Like, O'Brien, we need you to transport us to a spaceship. Please do this.
Right. But no, I want a little. I want that connection to like Lower Decks and Voyager, and like let's tie it all together. I want Tom Paris at the helm.
Oh, maybe.
I think that would be amazing because
What
you talk to like Worf or something like that, and he goes, I may have a connection or something like that, or I may know, or something, and
something
a
like
contact
that,
of a contact, and Tom Paris walks onto the bridge of whatever ship they're on. It's like,
honestly, it would probably be
Riker.
It'd be Riker saying that. Actually, Riker knowing Tom Paris, type of a thing.
Oh right, no, I mean there's a connection between Riker and Tom Paris. There's
there's Quarks and the gambling.
I could totally.
Or like I'd love to see Quark back.
Armature, yeah.
Now here's what I think is actually going to happen. I bet they're going to find a decommissioned Galaxy class starship.
The thing is, it takes 100 people to man a Galaxy class. Like
no, it doesn't, because there's the battleship crew, there's the battle bridge, and that only takes 8 people.
There's still engineering.
But engineering can be run from the bridge.
There's still 40 other decks, and there's a reason there were 600 people on that ship.
But just like in the original, what is it? The Search for Spock, it was only like a handful of people that went onto the Enterprise, which was a 300 crew ship,
right?
So whereas the Enterprise D,
I mean,
could all be run from the bridge.
If you go periscope down and you run 7 hours a day, you could totally run it just from the bridge.
But if it's a single mission, you could probably just run it from the bridge,
right?
And they're probably find like a decommissioned Galaxy class starship, because we already saw one in Picard season 2 versus the Borg. It was in the background, so they're still floating around. Yes, there was.
Yep.
And there's also a Enterprise, or what was the E called? I forget the classes.
Voyager was Intrepid.
And Voyager was Intrepid.
Sovereign class.
Sovereign, thank you. Yeah. There was also a Sovereign in there too.
Yeah, there were a couple Sovereigns.
I think there might be something along that line, but I'd rather see. I think all fans, and they're probably going to do a lot of. Obviously, that season 3 is just going to be fan service. Whatever the season is, bad plot line or anything, it's just going to be fan service, just to get subscribers to watch. I'm honestly fine with it.
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. I don't mind it at all. Just give me a C. C
Skull beat you to it by 40 seconds. Suck it. I didn't need chat for Sovereign class.
But yeah, so I think something like that would happen, because in episode 1 of Picard season 1, the Enterprise D looked beautiful. I mean, God, just redo that graphics. Have them do that. Blow it up again. I don't care.
I hope it ends with a poker game.
And probably
that's all I want. I want them sitting around Chateau Picard in his main hall. Laris pours them all a glass of tea, and pours Geordi a grog of wine, and Picard deals everyone in, fades out, drone shot. That's what I want. That's how I want the series to end.
Yeah. All right. Did you want to talk about the past couple episodes?
The problem is it's 10:05, and if we start talking about them, it will be 10:30.
Well, that's why I asked.
I need a second channel. I have a second channel. I just haven't posted anything there yet, so no one knows about it. Gosh.
I didn't think episode 4 was really all that relevant. Other than the end. The end.
Here's the deal with season 2, is they're now understanding how to tell a story in a miniseries form. Because before it was just like, we're telling one big story, and we're just going to end where we end. And there's no cliffhanger. There's no next episode. There's no everything was still kind of episodic and wrapped up with a nice little bow, regardless of whether the galaxy was going to end in the next episode.
Well, it was because they're having to grab every episode is grab a new crew member. Let's grab a new crew member.
Right.
And every crew member was a different episode.
For the first 5 episodes, they had to do a full episode of character development. Which again is kind of why I gave, season 1 of Picard a C. It was good, but it was definitely not great. It had some great moments.
Yeah. Agreed.
I will say episode 5, the ending of episode 5, I'm both infuriated and so intrigued by. Let's just skip to the end.
Are we talking modern? Or you're talking season 2?
Season 2. Let's talk current day. So to catch everyone up, Crew goes to a neo-fascist future. They travel back in time to prevent the time change that has been caused by Q, who we learn in episode 5 is because of Picard's relative, like a great aunt or something like that, Renee Picard, who is a French astronaut recruited by NASA. And she's supposed to go on the Europa mission, supposedly to Europa, a moon of Saturn. Saturn or Jupiter?
I forget. Europa, it's like one of the first, the big pre-warp, one of the biggest pre-warp space journeys.
They go to Europa. They find a microscopic life form, and they start to understand that it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
We're not alone in the universe, and
thus starts
that results in World War III, but also the race to warp technology by Dr.
Zephram Cochrane.
Yeah, Dr. Thank you, Zephram Cochrane. And so on and so forth. Q is there to stop Renee from going into space and participating in the mission, thereby, for some reason, turning it into a neo-Nazi fascist regime, in which Picard has a skull collection in his chateau.
Which is fantastic.
Which I love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gold Ducats in there.
Who doesn't love Picard, the skull of the Grand Negus?
Oh yeah, the Grand Negus. He has the skull of Gold Ducat there.
Gold Ducat and General Gowron.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
He killed them all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sarek. He's got Sarek in there too.
Yeah. That part was actually really fun to see.
Anyway, he sees Guinan. He's looking for a watcher. Guinan doesn't respond to him until he says his name. He goes, I'm Jean-Luc Picard. You said Picard, right? Okay. She's gonna want to meet you, but she's not gonna like you. Go to this place and shut up. And then he's taken by the supervisor, and we find out that her job is to watch over Renee Picard, Jean-Luc's great aunt, 350 some odd years removed, and so on and so forth. Let's fast forward to near the end. Let's fast forward to Girardi.
Okay.
She kills the Borg Queen.
So what happens is the Borg Queen takes over the ship because she's only a half queen, because she has basically her upper torso, if people haven't seen. They took her to time travel back because they didn't have Spock. She needed to be the computer. That's what happened. She was then in self-repair mode. She was complaining that she needed voices, and
Girardi impressed her because they temporarily linked, and Girardi was clever enough to steal information out of her head. So then she's been trying for the past 48 hours or 24 hours or so within these 2 episodes to convince the Borg
Girardi,
Queen became a horny teenager going, oh, hello, I've seen boobs for the first
time. Kind of, yeah. So
I want to get to know you.
She then manipulates the ship's computer by doing voiceover, because she's a half Borg or full Borg, and half computer, can just do whatever she wants, and calls the French police. So then she threatens Girardi with basically, I'm going to kill this officer if you don't link with me.
Yep.
And she pulls out old shotgun,
grabs a shotgun from Ye Olde Chateau Picard, and takes a stagecoach exit to the right of the neck. Left of the neck. So basically, theoretically killing their only way home, because they have no one smart enough to do the live computations to go or back around the sun. Right.
To do time travel.
Except the Borg Queen, in her dying moments, reaches out, touches Girardi's face,
and simulates. And so that's the interesting thing. It's honestly, on episode 4, I already called that. I was like, oh, I know what's happening.
I kind of figured that would happen, but the way it happened was like, oh, that.
Yeah. So if people haven't known, If you haven't watched season 1, she was the loner. She was kind of weird, and she ended up having to murder her boyfriend. And then in season 2, she kind of references that, and she still feels very awkward and lonely. And that's what the Borg Queen takes advantage of, because she then in the past is very lonely. And so
she's been going after emo Girardi since the very beginning, since the very first episode. You know, oh, left alone again. You know, you must be used to that. You have no one.
So the Borg Queen,
Miss Woman who murdered her late husband in season 1.
Yeah. So what it was is the Borg Queen, the reason they needed her, if you guys haven't watched,
any more tortured individual in Star Trek than Girardi at this point? Holy crap.
Well, Wesley, but I've been cock blocked how many times?
That's just because of the uniform they made him wear.
But yeah, so there are some interesting things that we don't know what's going on.
I have the rainbow on my chest.
Now, because of this, there's a lot of interesting things that are going on, because in episode 1, we saw a new Borg Queen. That was the thing.
Different Borg.
So a different Borg Queen than the one we are used to. The reason we have a more familiar Borg Queen was because it was in the alternate timeline that Q created. So essentially, because we know from Voyager, the Borg Queen was killed again, but there can still be multiple of those.
Yes. So remember, anything that you know about Star Trek is null and void. This is just like Kelvin Universe. This is just like Spock traveling back with red matter and Romulus and Vulcan both being eliminated.
Which is technically supposed to be canon.
It's canon in the Kelvin universe. It is still not canon in the TNG DS9 Voyager Lower Decks universe.
No, because not Lower Decks, because Lower Decks takes place after Picard, and Picard, that is the whole point of it.
No, Lower Decks takes place before Picard.
After Picard. We just established it. Lower Decks takes place after Picard.
Oh, it takes place
before. You're right. Yes.
It takes place before Picard, and in the Prime timeline, it is an extension of Voyager. It is after Voyager and DS9.
Yes.
In the Prime timeline, because Vulcan still exists. Episode 1 or 2, I want to say. They say, you know, how many planets have you been on? I've been to 5 planets. Well, you might as well count Vulcan. I was counting Vulcan. Vulcan exists in that universe.
But Romulus does not exist.
May or may not at that particular time. I don't know the exact time that Romulus blew up.
But no, yes, but that's also what's going on in the Kelvin timeline at the very beginning, is Romulus blew up. Was mined too heavily.
No.
Yes.
We'll discuss this off air. You're wrong right now. No. Romulus did not blow up at the beginning of the Kelvin universe. Romulus blew up in the future of the Prime timeline. Spock went back in time to prevent that from happening, and Nero followed him. And that is where the timeline divergence happens. And in And in theory, Romulus still exists in Prime timeline.
No.
And Vulcan
he followed him because Romulus blew up.
Right, he followed him because Romulus blew up. But when did Romulus blow up? I don't have a date for that. So
it blew up before the red matter. Before Spock went back in time.
I know. What I'm saying, timeline as far as events of Star Trek. Did it blow up during DS9, during Voyager? No, because Romulus was still a thing. Did it blow up before or after Lower Decks? I don't know, because they haven't mentioned it.
It blew up after Lower Decks. It blew up during Picard, and Spock was there to theoretically stop it, but then created the Kelvin universe.
Right.
Anyways, we'll talk about this later.
Right. Yeah, Romulus blew up before Picard, after Lower Decks. You are correct. But again, everything you know about Star Trek is null and void in Star Trek Picard Season 2, because it is a new timeline both from Kelvin and Prime.
Yes. Right.
Whoopi didn't recognize Picard because Picard never piloted the Enterprise and went back to 1893 and met Whoopi in that timeline. No. That's wrong. Stop.
That's right. No, you're wrong.
Hold on.
Okay.
Guinan is an Elorian. An Elorian is not human. A non-human universe is not a safe universe.
No,
Stop.
I don't agree with that.
Stop. You don't get to not agree with that. You don't get to.
I do get to.
My point is that everything that happened in TNG is completely null and void. TNG did not happen. Original series did not happen because the time split as of Picard season 2 happened in 2024.
Nope, that doesn't work because
think about it.
It doesn't.
Think about it.
Okay. We'll talk afterwards. I'll let you go on your points.
Okay.
I'll prove you wrong later, but I'll let you go on your points.
I guarantee you're.
I guarantee you're wrong.
Time travel is a weird and fickle mistress, but
you're still not going off of the Back to the Future timeline. Here's where it cuts off, and it's different here.
The thing is, it doesn't matter when they went back. What matters is when they went back to. That's what matters. And
if you go back even further, you're still fine.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me paint the picture for you. Okay. So prime timeline. Picard appears in 1893, meets Guinan the first time, supposedly. Okay. Timeline progresses as normal until Picard becomes captain of the Stargazer and later captain of the Enterprise, and later Whoopi joins the Enterprise, and they become good friends, and then Picard goes back in time and meets her. Right?
Yep.
Prime timeline.
Okay? Prime timeline. Okay.
Alternate timeline. Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise never took command of the USS Enterprise because the USS Enterprise doesn't exist. The United Federation of Planets doesn't exist because in 2024, hold on, I know 1893 happened before. Let me finish. If what happens in the future never happened, Picard never went back to 1890. Picard has to be the captain of the USS Enterprise and the United Federation of Planets to go back to 1890. Not? No.
Concept.
Yes or no?
Because this is how it doesn't work. This is how it doesn't work because if you did that, you're not fixing the future of his present timeline. You're fixing the future of the incorrect timeline.
Both. You're fixing both.
No, you're not.
John, hold on.
Okay.
If
you're wrong, but you can't be in two timelines at one time.
Yes, you can. Here's the deal. No. Stop. Think about it. Picard would have had to. We know there's an infinite number of universes. Thank you, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is canon. Remember that.
Not in Star Trek.
Remember that. Rick and Morty is canon. There's an infinite number of universes. The good old grandfather paradox. Thank you, Skull. That's exactly right. I know 1893 is a date in which, in one particular timeline, Guinan exists on Earth, and Jean-Luc Picard from the 24th century visits Guinan. You understand that as a fact, correct?
Sure.
In that particular timeline, okay, the particular timeline when Jean-Luc goes back in time to meet Guinan in 1893, Jean-Luc was the captain of the USS Enterprise in the United Federation of Planets.
Sure.
Do we understand that?
True. Yep, I get it.
Okay. What if Jean-Luc, from the 2024 timeline forward, was not the captain of the USS Enterprise in the United Federation of Planets? He was the captain of the World Ender or whatever it was. Yeah. Sure. He was in fact captain or the general of a warship in.
You're forgetting a point
in the Confederation. No, I'm not.
You already forgot a point.
Okay, what's the point?
The point was that they went back in time before the divergence.
Doesn't matter. No. 2024 is the divergence. Nope. 2024 is the divergence.
2024, and they went back 3 days before the divergence.
Right. Hold on.
So,
no.
3 days before the divergence,
But they're already in the altered timeline.
No, they're not. And here's another hole in your thing. If the grandfathered alternate
We'll talk about this
paradox,
later. It's 1020.
All right.
It's 1020.
It's still, why would you care if there's an infinite number of universes?
I care because you can only live in one.
And so they'll just go back
in time
and go to a
one
different one.
at a time.
You can't, but then that means they're deleting another one. You can't do that then.
You're not deleting one.
You are.
You're creating another.
But then it's still not the same one that you're in. But let's go. Hey, if you want to hear the rest of this conversation, you have to make sure, or conversations, like, you got to make sure to join that Discord. It's only $1 a month, and there's a super secret after show. Trust me, it's gonna be awesome.
There's a bunch
of
people.
2.5 hours.
There's a bunch of people worried that we're gonna get a divorce now. John and I were never married, just secret lovers. It's okay.
We were never married. Yeah. Oh no, this is that's the thing. And it doesn't matter. We never there was already a prenup anyways between TNG and DS9.
Right.
Which TNG is number 1. To go ahead and end that. Hit end.
You can have TNG. I'll take DS9 any day.
Anyway, hey Roy, thank you for the $5, by the way.
And thank you for Worf. Fourth best character on the series.
Yeah.
Thank you all
for the series good.
Thank you all so much for watching. This has been episode 229, or whatever the hell we're at of Talking Heads. I'm pretty sure it's 229. Watch us every night at Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news. Hit us up on the podcast at anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Click like, hit subscribe. I already said subscribe. Subscribe to Hops and Brews if you like nonsense and a non-understanding of timelines and divergences.
Oh, what a year! Oh my gosh, it's drunk beer talk, people.
One of us is drunk, the other is right.
Yeah, you have the 11%.
How many beers have you drank in a row?
Like only 147.
Right.
Jeez.
This is only 3 for me. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel right here on Craft Computing. Good night, everyone.